I'm Sarah. I'm Lola's caseworker.
Hey, Sarah.
I just wanted to meet with you really quick to talk a little bit about Lola and give you a little bit of background before you meet her later today.
Okay.
I just wrote up some notes. I'm gonna show you them really quick. So basically, I'll be representing Lola. Her academic counselor told me to refer her to a psychologist because she's been showing signs of just being really down and upset, and I figured she should see a psychologist. She has been through a lot in her life already, and the reason that I'm representing her is because she's still underage. She's only 16. So, yeah, there's just that. And basically, when she was 11 years old, she got into a car crash with her parents. They both passed away. Drunk driver. It was an awful incident. And from there, she's been jumping basically from foster home to foster home. The last foster home that she was at, she was abused by her older foster brother. It was just not a really good experience for her. It led to her lashing out and actually
What
going
kind
to
of abuse was it?
both physical and verbal. Yeah, and it basically led to her lashing out, and she ended up in juvenile detention for 8 months. But now she's in a new foster home and she's getting a fresh start. I believe that this new home that I placed her in is a good place for her to be. And yeah, that's basically where Lola's at, and I'm really looking forward to seeing progress.
Okay. Yeah. So I look forward to meeting with her and learning a little bit about her story from her perspective, and then I think we'll slowly tackle some of these issues through the course of some sessions, and then we'll eventually come to a conclusion and see what's the best options for treatment.
So that sounds great. Dr. Gaines, your 12 o'clock appointment is here to see you.
Alrighty, send her in.
Hi, Dr. Gaines. I'm Lola.
Hey Lola, nice to meet you. Let's get started. I'm Dr. Gaines. I'm a prescribing psychologist. Your caseworker referred you to me. Let's start off with a few questions to get to know a little bit about you. Have you ever seen a counselor before?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so this would be your first session.
Yeah.
So let's start off with how you're feeling right now.
I would say I'm pretty down, I guess. Yeah.
What's the characteristics of how you're feeling lately or today?
I guess the best way I could describe it is kind of like everything's really gray.
Okay.
There's not much happening that's gone good in my life for a long time, so yeah, it's pretty gray, nothing too much.
Okay. So let's have you tell me a little bit about yourself so I can get to know you more. So I don't know, wherever you want to start. That'd be fine.
Okay. When I was around 11 years old, my dad and my mom and I, we all went out to a launching party for my dad, who was an architect. One of his companies was starting a new project. And one of my best friends was having a birthday party. And I really wanted to go to it, but it happened to be the same night as this launching party.
And how old did you say you were?
11. Yeah. And so I ended up going to the launching party with my family, and we didn't really talk the whole way there because I was so angry with them, and there was tension during the party, and I didn't really speak to them then either. And then when we were driving home, we were hit by a drunk driver, and both my parents lost their lives, and I somehow managed to survive and was then placed in a group home for about 6 months. And from there I moved to another foster family.
Let's go back to the group home. How was your experience there?
It wasn't too bad. It was a lot different from what I was used to growing up. I was an only child, and at the group home I had to share a room with someone else, which was just a whole new experience for me.
And what happened next?
So then I was placed in a foster home, which was fine. But eventually I had to leave because it was only a foster home. And then I was placed into another foster family. And at this home I was physically and verbally abused by my older brother. And he would just always make sure that I was not part of the family, make sure that it was known that I wasn't like blood relative of the family.
Was this like in front of the foster parents, or was this like more of like taunting you?
It was more taunting. We went to school together, so at school he and his friends, he was on the baseball team, so he's a big jock, really popular guy, and he pretty much made everyone in the school made me feel like I just didn't belong there.
Anything else?
Yeah, so after a few months with that family, I got into an altercation with Jason, my brother, and I ended up going to juvie for 8 months because of it.
Okay, so what happened with the altercation?
Just after so many times of him taunting me relentlessly, I guess I finally just snapped. And I went at him with one of his baseball bats. And it was at our home and I broke a lot of his possessions. And I was just really angry and frustrated with him and the whole situation. And then the parents called the cops on me because I was just so flustered with everything. They couldn't really calm me down. And yeah, then I went to juvie.
Okay. So because of the altercation, you went to juvie. So you ended up breaking some of his things. Was that all that happened?
Yeah, I broke pretty much all of his trophies and possessions in his room with the baseball bat, the shelf. And then I proceeded to go after him with the baseball bat.
Okay. And then you went to juvie. How long were you in juvie?
8 months.
So tell me what that was like, Corey.
Juvie was pretty tough because I was so young. All the older people who were already in juvie kind of would bully me and just I was not welcome. Not that I would be in juvie, but it was a tough time for sure.
What did you do while you were in there? Anything to keep you busy? Any like school related things?
I really liked being outside, but we only got a certain amount of time outside every day, so it was hard to find creative things to do when you have limited resources.
Alrighty. Well, I'd like to thank you for sharing all that stuff with me today. You're very brave for sharing your story with me. I think we're on a good start for our first session. So we're going to end it here and meet in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I know we met several times already, and I feel like I've got to know you a lot over the last few months. I just wanted to ask a few more questions and get to know you a little deeper.
Yeah.
So, tell me about what happened after you left juvie.
So after I left juvie, I went to go live with a new foster family that they placed me in.
Okay. How's that been going?
It's been going really well. The family has been a lot better than my past families. So yeah.
Yeah, and I take it that you're back in school.
Yeah, I am. Since being with this new family, it's a different school than I was in, so it's nice to kind of have a fresh start.
Yeah, because you did mention that school was a really big part of your life growing up.
Yeah, school's always been like a really big outlet for me. Both my parents were very intelligent and loved school and kind of implanted that in me as well. So yeah, it's been a big part for sure.
What are some of your favorite subjects in school?
I really love math. I'm really good with numbers. And I also really love art because it's just so different from everything else that we get to learn about.
Do you feel that you're getting enough support going back to school, like resources in the classroom, support from your teachers?
Yeah. So obviously with my parents, it was I had like every resource kind of at my fingertips, and then going from a group home to a foster home to another foster home, school kind of became something that I didn't want to do anymore. It became just a struggle and like another task that I had to do. And so since finding this great foster home now and getting back into school and having a fresh start, there have been a lot of resources and a lot of new doors opening up through school. So
That's good. It's glad to hear. It sounds like things are moving forward.
yeah.
That's really good. Okay. So for our next session, I'd like to have your caseworker join us, and we can have a conversation about some options for treatment.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you both for coming in today. I know it's been a little difficult working with both of you guys' schedule, coming up with the day and time that works best for you guys. I want to start off with saying how I feel some of our last sessions have been very successful over the past couple months with getting to know you.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit of progression in Lola's attitude and stuff, and I'm really proud of her.
Yeah. How do you feel things have been going since your first session?
Yeah, I think they've been going really well. I've noticed just a change in my mood overall since we started the sessions. I'm just a little bit happier day to day.
I'm glad to hear that. So I want to start off with talking about a few of your symptoms that I feel that's been the most prevalent that I've noticed from our sessions in the past. The first one being your hatred for being in cars and the sudden flashbacks you have towards the car crash. And then your irritability levels have been kind of high. Also the lack of motivation and focus you have towards your schooling. I know that's been like really important to you before the car accident. Yeah, so with all that information and all the conversations we've had, I feel comfortable diagnosing you today with unipolar depression.
What exactly is unipolar depression?
Yeah, so unipolar depression is pretty much a fancy word for saying major depression.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some treatment options I had in mind would be the first one to start prescribing you with antidepressants. Yeah, and following up with that, I'd like to have weekly meetings with you to do check-ins. I'd like to play a role in helping you accept this diagnosis, and that would help me track your progress each week. And then another therapy I would like to recommend is pet therapy.
Like a dog?
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So studies have shown that pets appear to feed the soul and give you a more sense of a connectedness and help your well-being. So I feel like this is a great start for you, and I think this can help you move forward.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm really willing to try whatever it takes to help me through this, and I'm looking forward to starting these different treatment options for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. So we'll start writing up the paperwork for the prescription, and then I have some recommendations for you to go check out and see where you can find a pet at.
Awesome.
Is there any other questions?
I think we're good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, you too.